Joya High School. JC, welcome to the show. Glad to have you on.
Hi, sir. Thank you for having me.
All right, JC, you're an incoming junior this year at La Jolla High School, and we're starting to get back into the part where everyone's going back to school, whether it's virtually or whether it's in person. What's the plan right now for your high school over in La Jolla?
For the plan in La Jolla, they're saying that we're gonna go back September 8th virtually. So let's see how that goes.
So you still have a little bit of time before you guys get back to classes. How is the district? Are they providing? Like, I know La Jolla, this it's a rural area. Are they providing you guys with laptops or Wi-Fi or internet access, or how is that all working for you all?
La Jolla, they're offering laptops, iPads, and they're offering school buses that like travel to an area near you, so that way you can like get the Wi-Fi off the bus if people don't have access to Wi-Fi.
Right. And you're an incoming junior, so all this is new to you. It's new to all of us, everyone that's involved dealing with this pandemic now. Just how different is it for you? Usually right now you're buying new shoes at Foot Locker, you're getting your new school clothes. Now you're just waiting at home and you're going to be doing things virtually. So how different is this part of August for you opposed to your normal routine?
I mean, it's really different right now. I'd be like going shopping for my supplies, my clothes, shoes, and everything. But now all I can do is just try and stay active and stay in shape.
Definitely. And we're going to switch topics here and talk about your baseball career and where you're at right now. Again, you're just an incoming junior and you already have a very strong resume. This past summer, what was it like for you playing travel ball? And just how different was the travel ball scene with all the restrictions in place?
It was different by like not all the players, since everybody's different, so not all the players were able to attend. Some players would get sick and wouldn't be able to attend, like key players. And while on the field, we would have to wear masks and stuff like that, and we'll always to have your hands sanitized and constantly changing balls and stuff like that.
So on the field, they required the players to wear masks.
Yeah, in some tournaments, yes.
Okay, how was that for you? Because I know when we saw some softball, the players, while they were on the field, they did not have to wear a mask, but in the dugout and around the ballpark, they did have to wear a mask. So that's a first. What was that like having to wear a mask actually on the field?
I mean, it was kind of tough. It was a little different. We had to adjust to it, but at the end, we just, it's part of it. So we had to go with it.
And how did your travel ball go this summer? I know we've seen some teams have tournaments. We've seen teams get their tournaments canceled. Some only had a handful. Some didn't have any at all. What was it like for you? How many did you compete in?
We competed in, I'd say, 5 tournaments, going 20-0, and some of our tournaments did get canceled, but our coach managed to get us into about like 5 tournaments, and we ended up winning 4 out of 5.
And for those that may not be familiar with the Bandidos, why don't you explain to the people watching on who they are, who your coach is, and who are the guys on your team?
Bandidos is an organization created by Ray De Leon and Ken Craw Catfish. That's what we call them, and it's just a bunch of players that want to compete and want to go into the next level, and like and most of my baseball teammates, they're committed to a lot of big schools like U of H. One was committed to A&M, UIW, a lot of good schools.
Who are some guys on your team that are from the Valley that people might recognize?
From the Valley, Nicholas Solis, uh, Matt, I forgot his last name. Can't think about it right now. Alex Solis, and I think that's about it.
So for travel ball, it was one thing that you guys were able to go out there and play, but also, like you mentioned, the point of travel ball is for you guys to get out there and get seen by colleges. For you, you've committed to Texas Tech. What, about a week, 2 weeks ago? Not too long ago, you committed to Texas Tech.
Yes, sir.
Was that a process that's really took head of steam this summer, or was it something that was already kind of building up?
No, it took this summer. I started improving a lot. A lot of coaches started to notice, and from there, Texas Tech had noticed that I had been doing good in some of my pitching outings, and from there they got in contact with me.
Now you're a lefty. What's your go-to pitch, or what are the pitches that you throw?
The pitches that I throw is a fastball, curveball, changeup. Those are the only three I throw. And my go-to pitch is just a fastball.
Your fastball. Where are you at on your velo with your fastball?
My velo, the the most I've topped out this summer was 89.
89. And do you
Yes,
have
sir.
any maybe goal to maybe to get to 92, 93 by the end of your junior year, or where's that plan at?
December, I plan on hitting 90, and then by the end of my junior year, I want to be at least like 90, 95, 94, 93 up there.
And your curveball, is it over the top, or is it over the side? Is it a 12-6, or is it over the side, on the side,
It's more on the side.
on the side? And
Yeah, it
then
has
when
a
you
lot of, it got
and
more spin to it.
more spin to it, and that's unique. That you mentioned you're a lefty, and it's just fastball, curveball, changeup. Wandy Rodriguez pitched for the Astros a long time ago. He made a living off of that and topped off of 89. Are you a strikeout guy? You a ground ball guy? What kind of pitcher are you?
I'm more of a strikeout guy. Yeah,
Definitely.
I try to get batters out, just hit my corners and everything.
Definitely. You had 80 strikeouts as a freshman and you had 7 wins. You really broke onto the scene your freshman year. What was that like for you coming onto the varsity and making an impact right away like that?
My freshman year, it was a little, I don't know, it was uphill, downhill. Cause some outings I wouldn't be as good, but because I wasn't used to the atmosphere at the time, so it was sometimes downhill, uphill. But once I got the hang of it, I started to feel like home and more comfortable, and just like going to cruise and pitch.
What game was it that you finally you found your form as a pitcher, and like you said, you made yourself at home on the mound?
It was probably against Mackay when we played them home. Yeah, I had we were pitching one of our pitchers, Angel Solis. He was pitching. Then I came in to relieve for about 2, 3 innings, and I started to feel like home. I started like the competition wasn't. It didn't make me nervous anymore. It didn't like I built up my confidence, and I was able to overcome the Bulldogs.
Yeah, and I'm sure that had to have been a rivalry. These last couple of years with the things you guys have been doing, and then of course Mac High with Aaron Nixon. What was it like facing a guy like Aaron Nixon?
Sadly, we didn't face him whenever he was pitching, but whenever we would face his team, everyone would be like, "Oh, like." I think everyone would be what's the word, like intimidated. Everyone would be intimidated by him, but we just had to play, and we got the wins.
Yeah, as a lefty pitcher, who do you mold your game like when you look up to the lefty pitchers in the big leagues?
The lefty pitchers, I admire Clayton Kershaw because of his curveball, and like ever since I was a kid, like not a kid, but ever since he got into the MLB, I like the way his style was, the way he pitched, his mentality going into the game, stuff like that.
So you're a Dodger fan, or?
Yeah, I'm a Dodger fan.
Okay, well, Clayton Kershaw explains it, and that's forgivable. Clayton Kershaw is pretty good. Um, you know, Looking back at your sophomore year, you guys were 13-2. Looked like you guys were really rolling towards district play, and then everything got shut down. Everything got put on pause. Where were you at when you guys got the word that the season was going to be put on pause first, and then there was that level of uncertainty? Where were you guys?
We were in a tournament in Edinburgh, and we were about to play, and that's whenever the UIL announced that we were going to be on pause. and all of our team was bummed. All of our coaches were bummed because we knew we were gonna have a great season.
Yeah, you guys had played in 13, 14, 15, 16 games. You guys had won 13 of them. So you guys were
Yes,
pretty
sir.
much on a very good roll. Where were you guys at in the season? Were you guys filled with veterans or were you guys a young club?
We were a young club. We were sophomore, juniors. We had one returning senior, but since COVID, we lost him. We didn't lose him, but we lost him like for
Right.
baseball, and it was just a bunch of seniors. I mean, sophomores and junior group.
So you guys have a lot coming back, So the bright side is you guys still have a couple of years. Some other guys have a year left this coming school year. When you guys
Yeah,
finally got the word that the season was officially canceled, what was that conversation like with your head coach and your team?
I mean, he told us that we were gonna have a great season, but since the pandemic happened, that we were unable to keep on playing, and unfortunately, our season got canceled. And he just said thank you to the seniors that were playing, and just to move on forward from there and to keep on working for next year.
The summer of your freshman year, your summer ball, you played in the WWBA championship, and you won the MVP. What was that whole experience like for you, and ultimately winning that MVP award?
Well, it was this past summer actually that I had won the
Okay,
WW MVP. It was a great experience. I had got it in Oklahoma, and I had pitched. I forgot the team's name, but I had pitched, and I had pitched about 6 innings, and I got about like 15, 16 strikeouts, and that I think that's the reason why I got the MVP.
you're really carving them up. Was your breaking ball on point, or what was working with you with your pitches that game?
Just I threw probably about like 10 curveballs the whole game, and the majority fastball. I just
Wow.
hit my corners accuracy.
Now your fastball, is it just a four seam? Is it a two seam or
It's a four seam, but it has like some move to it. That's why some of the hitters can't hit it.
it has that natural move to it because you're a lefty? Yeah, definitely. I,
Yeah.
I know what you mean. Um, you had mentioned, you got offered by UTRGV, U of H, Incarnate Word, Sam Houston, along with Texas Tech. What made Texas Tech the place to be from choosing them over these other schools?
I mean, Texas Tech always had a great baseball program, and I've always heard good things about them. And I just figured it was like the best school that would fit in, that I would fit in, so that way I can like go to my best ability and maybe become and go into the majors.
And how did Tech reach out to you, and what was that recruiting process like?
The recruiting process, it was the Matt Garner, their assistant coach. He had asked another coach named Eric Gutierrez, which is from here.
Hmm.
He had got in contact with the athletic director of La Joya, and the athletic director got in contact with my dad, and from there he got in contact with my coach, and just through Matt Garner had called my coach, giving me his number, like my coach giving me his number, and from there I called him, and that's about it. He wanted to build a relationship and just like to get to know me first and stuff like that.
At any point, was it ever, maybe you were weighing the final two schools, whether that's Tech and UTRGV because it's close to home, or Tech and U of H, or was it always Tech was the place, that's where you wanted to go?
It was Tech was a place, and that's where I wanted to go.
Excuse me. I don't know if you're familiar with John Henry Gonzalez from Edinburgh High. He also pitched at Texas Tech for a few years.
No, sir, I'm
No,
not.
no, no more or less. Okay, but Eric Gutierrez though he's definitely the most notable name. Have you been to Lubbock at all?
No, I haven't since
You,
since Corona happened. I was supposed to go up to go see it, but since Corona happened, I'm not gonna be able to.
do you have maybe some kind of timetable and maybe when you can maybe go up and pay a visit?
I had talked to the coach, and he had said since the pandemic happened, he doesn't know how their school's gonna gonna like take it to like for the commits like to go see it. I don't. He didn't know, but he told me he would let me know.
No, you're just only going to be a junior, and you're already committed to a Division I school. Not a lot of people get to say that. Uh, at night when you finally lay down and go to bed and you think about that, what does that mean to you, and what does that say for you and your left arm?
Well, first, I pray to God that for him giving me the opportunity to play and to showcase my talents, and for me getting noticed on a to a big school. And I just really rely on God for all those type of things. Count my blessings.
Do you play any other positions?
I play first base.
You play first base,
Yeah,
and as far as your hitting goes, how is your hitting, or where do you bat in the lineup?
I believe I bat seventh or eighth in La Joya. Yeah,
Seventh or eighth. And what kind of hitter are you? Are you a contact guy, or are you a power hitter, or what kind of
no,
hitter are you?
I'm a contact hitter.
Contact hitter. So
Yeah,
as a left, you bat left-handed.
no, I bat right-handed.
Okay, see, there's a thing because I was gonna say some guys throw left but bat right. See, I bat left and throw left, so I was gonna go there to her. I was gonna say as a lefty hitter, playing when I played, I hated the outside corner as a
Yeah,
lefty. But I'm sure as a lefty pitcher, when you go up against lefties, do you like touching that outside corner when you're going against lefties?
it's more of a challenge when I face lefties.
Right.
So yeah, but like I tried my best to go in the outside corner
Do you
since the ball's
backdoor
moving
curves?
away.
Do you go any back when you do face the lefties? Are you backdooring anything, or
Yeah, I try to do some backdoor curves.
just more or less? Definitely. Talking about Texas Tech, and have you kept an eye on him? Because I know Billy Watson, who was with us at Real Sports Life, he's at Texas Tech right now, and he was pretty fired up to see that you're going to Tech. And I know he was saying that Texas Tech had some pretty big expectations this year for the baseball program. Did you watch them at all these past few years?
Yeah, I actually did. Yeah, they're pretty good, and their 2020 class they're supposed to be really good also.
Definitely. Changing subjects just a little bit and talking about your hobbies. You mentioned you like bike riding. What kind of bike riding is that exactly? Is that a bicycle or a motorcycle, or what kind of bike riding do
Yeah,
you like doing?
mountain bike riding. There's these trails in Mission, Texas, where that you're able to go through trails and like the woods and everything. It's pretty fun.
Definitely. And any other hobbies you may have picked up on? Because I know for a couple months we were all locked up in quarantine and didn't really have much to do. Did you pick up on any extra hobbies?
Well, my dad and his friends they like to go riding in their razors and their Can-Ams, and
Mhm.
so I sometimes I tag along and I like to go ride with them. That's
Definitely.
pretty much it.
As a baseball player, there's such a thing as baseball shape. How did you manage to stay in shape throughout these past couple of months? And especially as a pitcher, it's difficult to keep your arm flowing, to keep your arm alive, considering you don't have many options.
For well, me and three of my teammates, we would go throw in La Joya. We go throw and we try to do sprints. We do bands and we hit also. That's Without them, I wouldn't be able to be in shape. I would probably have to do it by myself.
Are you ready for the school year to start, or is there any kind of not nervousness, but maybe some uncertainty just going into the new school year, being that this is all a new normal for us?
Yeah, well, I hope I'm able to comprehend the virtual because I like more like person to person. So that's the only thing I'm nervous about.
And as far as Coyote baseball, have your coaches sent y'all programs or workouts maybe to keep in shape? That way, once you guys get to January, February, you guys are ready to roll.
No, he hasn't yet.
Not yet. Okay, we won't say anything. But how about
Yeah.
Coach Farias? How's he doing over there? I know he's the football coach, but at one point, Coach Farias was a baseball guy. He was the head baseball coach over in La Jolla. How much does he hang around the ballpark?
He goes to all our games. He tries to go to some of our practices, and yeah, he tries to talk to us about about like to stay into the game and stuff like that.
With you guys now moving over to 31-6A, you guys are going to be in a new district this coming season. What can we expect from the La Jolla Coyotes this year?
We would for sure make it to playoffs, but it's going to be hard to win district with a lot of great competition that we're gonna face.
Do you feel that, your junior class and the senior class that's ahead of you, do you guys feel extra motivated because the season essentially was taken away from you guys because of a pandemic, and it's something we've never seen before, but is that going to motivate you guys a little extra?
For sure. We're all our seniors are hoping for a baseball season, which I hope we have, but they're really motivated to win district.
Yeah, I believe you guys will. And flipping the page to Major League Baseball, being that we're both baseball guys, what are your thoughts on the season so far?
I mean, the thoughts on the season. I mean, the the players. I mean, it's kind of I don't know how some players take it, like without being the fans and the noise and everything. So I feel like I don't know. I feel like there's a little bit of difference in there, but I think overall it's gonna be good.
What was your the first game you watched this year without seeing any fans? What was your reaction? What were your thoughts?
It was it was the Dodgers versus the Astros,
Okay, yeah,
and I think that what, sir?
no, was it that game on ESPN, that
Yeah, it
what,
was.
Wednesday night game?
Yeah. Um, I think the Dodgers won it. I think the Dodgers won it,
They did.
and I mean it was kind of weird watching it without no fans. But I don't know.
What were your thoughts on Joe Kelly?
Kelly, the pitcher, the left-handed pitcher.
Yeah, that whole little deal he did.
Oh, I don't know. That was something else.
Yeah, I was like, a lot of people didn't know who Joe Kelly was until he did all that mess. But it's just a 60 game season. It's a different stretch. For majority of the teams, they played through 20 games already. Not really towards the halfway point, but baseball is such a weird sport to where you see the 162 game season the way we normally see it. It's a marathon, not a sprint. But now it's a sprint, and we're seeing pitchers are maybe going to get maybe 15 starts, maybe 10 to 15 starts, more or less. As a pitcher, putting yourself in their shoes, just how different do you think it would be having to prepare for just a short season?
Well, for sure, a lot of a lot of stretching and a lot of what's the word? Uh, a lot of a lot of I can't think of the word. I'm sorry. A lot of reconditioning, like
Mhm.
after the games, like to
Mhm.
make sure your eyes and stuff like that, and just to overall take care of your arm and get a good warm up.
And you mentioned the reconditioning part. Explain to some people out there that don't really get it is after you start a game, what do you do after the game? What does the pitcher do?
After I start a game, after the game, I do sprints. I try
Right,
running, and I try icing my arm and
right,
stretching my arm and doing bands.
right. We when we had pitchers, they would run poles. They'd run
Yeah.
foul pole to foul pole. Explain to people what's the reason behind that.
The reason behind that is just to get your arm flowing and to get the blood circulating inside your arm so that way you can go back to normal. Or not back to normal, but
Rest it up,
yeah.
definitely. So who's your World Series prediction? Who do you think is going to make it in October?
I would hope the Dodgers, they got a good season. They got good staff coming up.
And then in the American League side,
Uh I'm not sure. I don't know.
to me the A's are playing really well right now. I think the White Sox might be a surprise team, and of course the Yankees. Of course, the Yankees, they're loaded, and of course they have Garrett Cole, and
Yeah.
they just recently got bit by the injury bug. But your Dodgers are looking pretty good. Did you catch Mookie Betts the other night? Hit 3 home runs.
Hello?
I'm there. Sorry for the
Oh, it
lag.
was cutting. Yeah, it was cutting
No,
off.
I was asking, did you catch Mookie Betts the other night? He hit 3 home runs.
No, I didn't catch it.
No, definitely. But no, your Dodgers are in pretty good shape with Kershaw, Bueller. they're going to be all right. Before we wrap up, any shout outs or any hellos you want to give out to any friends or family maybe watching?
Well, shout out to my friends that are watching, my family, and hopefully my coaches that are watching.
Definitely. Again, we're joined by JC Gutierrez, an incoming junior at La Joya High School over with the Coyotes. JC, we're hoping that you guys get to have a season this coming spring. You know, it's still a bit of a ways off, but you know, we'll get there eventually, and hopefully, you guys are able to have a season, and you guys will be looking different in a new district. So, thanks for taking the time to come out on our show, and just stay healthy, and good luck in your upcoming school year.
Thank you, sir. You too.
Thank you.